Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European Time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. Guys, how you doing? Are you still bullish? Are you still bearish? What's happening? Are we gonna drop down? Are we gonna pump? That's the big questions right now. And yesterday, late night yesterday, I started getting a little bit, FOMO tendencies. Every time I get, super overly bullish, FOMO tendencies, buying resistance, prices usually are some kind of top. And we saw yesterday that, the price did not escalate towards the upside. It actually kind of pulled back a little bit towards the downside. And I got in some kind of fear mentality. I was like, oh my God, is this the top already? What's happening, right? Now, this might have happened because I've been lately, these couple of last weeks, I've been looking a lot on Twitter, YouTube, chat, reading what people are saying, what they're not saying, reading the news. And oftentimes when you read the news, when you listen to other people and you try to trade, your emotional stability will be affected by what other people are saying, either you want it or not. So if you're not 100% confident and sure about what you're doing, you will definitely be affected by the market. That said, I was greatly affected, in these last couple of days from the market, because I've been reading and looking, a lot of, I've been looking more on what other YouTubers and, people have been saying than I usually do. So everybody got an opinion on something, and it affected me yesterday. I think I came, to some kind of, extremely bullish sentiment, and then, the slightly smooth down was like, oh man, I'm starting to buy resistances. I'm starting to FOMO in. Maybe we are at some kind of top. So we're gonna see if we are actually some kind of top. It came so far that I actually put some kind of warning bot on Twitter and made a short video to be careful on my YouTube channel yesterday, just to tell people that be careful right now. Although I do see that we can definitely pump towards the upside, we are kind of losing a little bit momentum and we might drop towards the downside. So in today's video, we're gonna look at what kind of indications we have that we might be reaching some kind of top, or that this is going to continue. We're going to be looking at the momentum, the price, what needs to happen, where it should be become bad, and so forth, so forth. That said, let's go through the chat and see who is in the chat. The Central Plan, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Roshten, let's go. Cryptoras, good morning. Garrett is in the chat. Ask, good morning. XRP Legend, good morning. How you doing, man? STV, I'm short from 24,250. My boy dump it, baby, about to TP and scalp a little 23. Okay, nice. I just longed the like button. Yeah, long the like button, guys. Long the like button. 20. When did you go short? 24 something up here. Nice, very nice. Mr. Martini, guys, said your risk to reward is impeccable. No improvement possible. I don't know about that. I think there's definitely room for improvement. But I'm learning a little bit. I'm trying to figure out right way to think about a risk reward ratio and stuff like that. So we're gonna figure it out. My trade is smashing. Nice. We are our best project. Maybe it might be that. Morning, you're on time. Yeah, this time we are on time, on the dollar. This for movement. How you doing, man? No pullbacks, up only. Well, I don't know, man, but this seems still to me like a slight pullback towards the downside. I mean, we had bigger pullbacks, guys. We had bigger pullbacks over here. So this pullback over here is like nothing, but we are sitting on some kind of support. I'm gonna show you what kind of momentum we have, and what's kind of getting me a little bit worried. Tino's last video, he talked extensively about people ignoring the news. He did? I didn't watch him. I actually saw the stream from Tino yesterday, and I tried to watch it, but he was coughing through whole stream, or at least the part that I watched, and I was like, nah, I don't want to watch this. The top of Phantom was almost exactly what I expected. I expected for CET 365. I plan to build up fairly large short and then ride it down on the other side. Way, how you doing, man? When it comes to Phantom, I can tell you one thing. about Phantom, and it doesn't have to do with the too much with the price. It has to do with using the logarithmic chart. This is the regular chart, and down here, if you down in this corner, you can see it up here, but if you press the logarithmic chart, it does look a little bit different. And this is very important, guys. This is very important. So let's look how it looks actually on a logarithmic chart up here. When you look at the chart on Phantom on a logarithmic chart, you can pull out a very nice channel up here towards the upside, right? And to me, this move up here seems that it can actually go all the way up to very, very high up here to 0.84, something like that. So you might get some kind of impression that this is not over just yet. It can go all the way up here. But look what happens when we turn off this logarithmic chart on the downside over here and put it on the regular chart. See, the move already came all the way up towards the upside. On the logarithmic chart, it came to the midline, but on the regular chart, it came all the way towards the upside. It's a different kind of chart. You see that? It's a different kind of chart depending on, if you put it on the regular chart and, put this stop up here where it's supposed to be, we are almost exactly on the top line. So, just a quick, interesting TI thing. Use regular charts rather than logarithmic charts. I've been using logarithmic charts for most of my TA days, but after Mladen told me to check out the regular chart, use regular chart because the lines do matter, and I've been seeing more and more indications that using a regular chart is the right way to go. Subscribe to TradingView during the Black Friday sale. Now I need to learn how to use it. Yeah. So as you can see up here, we came to some kind of top. So that's just a quick word on the logarithmic versus logarithmic chart versus the regular chart. Okay, now let's look at Bitcoin a little bit. And the first thing you're gonna notice on the daily time frame over here is that we are not below the 10 moving average over here. We are also not below the very important level of support down here at 23k. So technically speaking, we are not below very crucial levels just yet on the daily time frame. If you look at the 4-hourly time frame, the only thing we did so far is break the 10 moving average towards downside over here. This move towards downside, and right now we are still bleeding towards downside into this next moving average. This is the 10 and the 50 moving average just below us, so we are moving into that support area. But in any kind of big move towards the upside, and this 4-hourly time frame, you can go to weekly time frame and see this over here, something like this. We have something called momentum, and we often look for these momentums whether they are weakening or strengthening. So when you got some kind of chart and you got some kind of move towards the upside, like over here, this first move towards the upside, it start climbing very fast on the 10 moving average, and then it lost momentum and went sideways. So this momentum up here, this momentum towards the upside, broke. Even though it didn't break and go down, it broke and went sideways over here, pulled a little bit back, and then continued towards the upside. But the thing is that momentum kind of weakened already. So this big fast move towards the upside weakened once we broke the momentum to a little bit on the side. The second part up here, and we can use the first move towards downside, you'll see up here that we had a new new trend up here towards upside, but even this new trend on the upside up here got broken over here, so we lost. This is the second loss of momentum towards the downside, and right now we have a third momentum, third trend that we are following over here, give or take, something like this over here. Right now we are following this trend over here, so you can see this, that's around 23k up here level. So we lost one momentum, we lost second momentum, and right now we might be losing the third momentum if we fall below 23k. So very important thing to notice, because we are losing momentum, and oftentimes when you start losing momentum, that means that, you know, the weakening in the price. And this is very important, because when you are going towards upside, you know, and increasing the momentum towards upside, what you are doing, you are not losing the support lines, you are actually breaking the resistance line, right? So you'll be going some kind of, you know, you will have some kind of resistance, some kind of support line, you'll be breaking this resistance line towards upside, right? You will be increasing the momentum towards upside. This is usually some kind of parabolic pattern where you increase the momentum towards upside, right? Now this can go up and down a little bit, right? And right now it might pull back and then continue, you know, in a new, you know, move towards upside, but we need to see some kind of increase in momentum. And increased momentum often comes when you break certain levels. So over here we had increase in momentum when we had this move towards upside up here. So we broke the trend over here, the short-term trend towards the downside. That means that the momentum got, you know, the momentum of this trend over here got weakened a little bit, but we managed to get back inside above that, you know, and continue towards upside, which made us, you know, stupidly bullish up here towards upside. And over here as well, we had some kind of line over here, give or take. Right now, you know, we are not drawing it very carefully, but, you know, we had some kind of new trend over here. We lost the momentum over here towards the downside, but we managed to get back into the trend and continue that same momentum towards the upside. So even though we lost, you know, 2 times over here the momentum, we managed to regain that, you know, pretty quickly towards the upside. But in a longer, you know, some kind of a move over here, we lost momentum once, we lost momentum twice, and right now it's very important to not lose this, you know, this momentum over here, because if you lose this momentum over here, you'll probably start losing the supports below us as well, you know, 22.7, 22.5, give or take. We gotta look for some kind of support that actually can do one of these moves over here, where we go below the momentum or the trend, and then, you know, bounce right back up again. But if it goes below, you know, 22.5, stuff like that, it's pretty much, you know, entire move is pretty much lost, and we gotta look for new support area where we can actually bounce from. But the momentum is losing pace. This was very impulsive move towards the upside. This, you know, continued up here very nicely towards the upside, but as you can see, again, we are losing momentum, and that's why you know, I've been a little bit shaky lately, especially because of this move over here. Oftentimes when you get to some kind of a consolidation phase, this goes for a very long time, like this phase has been going. It's been going sideways for a very long time, and it's a slightly upward trend over here. And we get an important, you know, level of resistance around the 25k. So everything looks good so far, guys. Everything looks good so far, and, you know, we have some kind of support lines and stuff like that. But oftentimes when these consolidation patterns, whether that's a channel or triangle or whatever, I always get a little bit worried, especially if we are below some kind of very important resistance and stuff like that, right? There's also, you know, 24.3 resistance up here. I don't know where it comes from, down here somewhere. I don't remember. That we have been hitting, trying to break that several times up here. 2 times actually, 3 times. We've been trying to get above this, you know, 24k level up here. Although 25 is important, but, you know, we cannot even get above 24 level up here. 24 level. So we had, you know, 1 tap, 2, you know, first try, and then, you know, double try up here at the top, and we failed, you know, right now 3 times to get above these levels. So even you know, now that we have been breaking the momentum towards downside, you know, a couple of times, failing to break the resistance up here at 24k, and the price is right now pulling a little bit back. The big question is, how much are we gonna pull back before we do another try on the 24k? Also, what I've been noticing is there is a lot of, you know, FOMO coming in. You know, the bears are turning bullish. The bears are, you know, starting to FOMO in. They don't care anymore about, you know, these bearish YouTubers, and they are, you know, I don't want to listen to you anymore. I want to make money. So a lot of these people have been starting to FOMO up here, and that means that they are trying to get, you know, to 25, you know, 30k, whatever they are looking at, right? Yeah, you know, I've been talking about, if you go to 25, it's probably, you know, it's going to be probability that, you know, that's just going to, you know, break and go all the way up to 30k. So a lot of people are trying to, you know, do these moves. So there have been a lot of leverage longs up here, you know, we're going to break, you know, this was a, you know, try, this failed, and then we had the phone committee up here, you know, we had 2 touches on the upside up here, and we pulled back. So there was a lot of FOMO right up here at the top, and the pullback up here is not that unexpected, although once you understand that, you know, the FOMO is huge and that people are, you know, buying the resistances towards upside, there will definitely be some kind of profit taking and maybe even a pullback towards downside. Now we are not, again, we are not below very crucial support level. That's you know, 23.4 and the 23,000, sorry, 23,255 and 23,000. Let me just put the numbers down. There we go. These are very important support levels. These are on the daily time frame. We are not below them, so you know, technically we cannot say just yet that we are very, very bearish or anything like that. The pullback needs to be taken into consideration as some kind of, you know, pullback, some kind of fear pullback towards the support lines over here, and then we hopefully are going to bounce from that. But if it starts breaking, you know, even more, then it might be a little bit you know, sketchy. It might be a little bit sketchy. Let me show you something on. First of all, I just showed you the Phantom chart. That Phantom did, you know, hit the top of the Phantom did hit top of the of this move towards upside over here on the channel towards upside. But let me show you something, for example, what I saw on the near chart. And this is a very interesting chart. So just like we talked right now about momentum, you know, price losing momentum, this is a very good, you know, what are you gonna say? This is a very good indication that momentum is being lost. So over here, there's a big move towards upside over here. It might be something like this over here that we haven't lost yet, you know, bigger move. But if you see up here, you know, this move over here lost the momentum. Right, then we had this move up here. See up here, this lost momentum as well. And right now this is, you know, testing that line. The line is not perfect, but you know, it's testing that line and pulling back. So you know, going back below these levels down here at 2.2, that will be losing the momentum as well. What you're also going to notice on a near chart is these tops up here. This to me looks like a you know, distribution pattern. You'll see this on Bitcoin, for example. I mean, everybody remembers this. Once we come to some kind of top up here, you get these, you know, very nice wicks. Either that's a rising wedge, you know, triangle, whatever it is. It looks like a distribution pattern with a high wicks towards the upside. And if you look at near chart over here, where is near chart? Over here. If you look at near chart, small time frames, 4-hourly time frames, you'll see that this looks like a, you know, distribution pattern. It went, you know, exploded towards upside up here, pulled back, and had this, you know, it came to some kind of top up here, distribution pattern up here, broke this, you know, momentum towards downside, tries to get back, you know, retesting this same level, and right now it's pulling back. Now this can, of course, always, if you are strongly bullish, continue towards the upside, but we gotta know that, you know, even Bitcoin has been losing momentum, and even the Phantom has been losing the, you know, it came to some kind of top near, you know, lost momentum. And a lot of charts look something like this, they did lose the momentum. There are some, you know, charts that are looking actually okay, but a lot of charts have already lost momentum, right? And for Bitcoin right now, where are these lines, momentum lines that go over here? So let's be a little bit, you know, try to be at least a little bit, you know, maybe something like this down here, give or take. This line down here, although these wicks on the downside do crash, I do like that, you know, these wicks up here, and some of these wicks do confirm the line, and this top up here. And you can see right now that even this line over here is getting broken towards the downside. So yes, we are hitting some kind of support, but we are already lost so many support levels or support trend lines that right now we gotta assume that this has definitely a probability to, you know, break the next support levels. So I would say that, you know, probability towards upside right now is a lot weaker than it was, you know, down back here, because the momentum being lost, and the probability towards downside over here, or pullback, so some kind of pullback, is getting stronger by the day. Bitcoin is down right now 0.56%, so it's not much down. It's, you know, pulling down to this 200 moving average on 30 minute. It's pulling down to, you know, some kind of support up here. You can see this, you know, support up here, 200 moving average on 1 hourly times up here, 4-hourly time frame. We are pulling back to, you know, 20 and the 50 moving average over here. Right now, you know, we still have 3 hours and 30 minutes left on this candle over here. So, you know, nothing is set in stone, but we are losing a little bit momentum. Now let's look at a little bit on the indicators over here, and can we see some kind of a weakness in the price when it comes to indicator. Now the very good thing up here at the top is that we don't have any kind of divergence at the top. So there is no divergence at the top. You can see the price goes towards downside over here between these tubes up here, and then even this move goes towards downside over here. Now what you're gonna see is that this move up here below us, if we fall just a little bit more towards downside, we will be getting a huge bullish hidden bullish divergence towards upside, right? So even though price is falling down here, we might see already some kind of start that we might be getting some kind of bullish hidden bullish divergence towards upside. Now the price needs to fall below 22.8. The price needs to fall below 22.8 over here, all the way down here, to avoid this divergence up here. So divergences, when it comes to divergences, RSI divergences, stuff like that, they are lag indicator, so they are not very helpful to us immediately. But in retrospect, you can actually look at these things and say whether that was actually a good thing or bad thing. Up here with this week on the upside, people, when we are starting going towards upside, there was huge divergence up here, and maybe people saw that and thought like there is no way we're gonna pump right now towards upside. We need a pullback, just pull back even more this this RSI. You can see up here that the price is going towards upside while the RSI is going towards downside, and this might be consolidation and option. This happens often in a strong bullish rallies. The thing that's happening is over here is that we came to some kind of very extended level towards upside up here, 88, 89 levels on the RSI. So oftentimes when price wants to continue moving higher, it needs to push this RSI towards downside a little bit, right? So right now we are doing that while going towards the upside, right? You can see up here we are doing that. The price is going down into the 60 area down here, maybe even a lower down here to some kind of 60 level down here, a little bit lower. Right now we are like 70 levels or something like that, 70, 60 levels. So could we pull down a little bit more? Definitely could pull down a little bit more, but we are definitely consolidating in an uptrend, which is actually quite bullish, So could we get another move up here towards upside? Definitely can. And this move up here might be even very nice towards the upside. But I'm just saying that this pullback up here is pretty much real, and we need to hold the support levels. If you look at a MACD, you can see up here that we got cross up here at the top. We already started losing momentum towards downside while we're going towards upside up here. We got a bearish cross up here at the top, and right now the momentum is increasing towards downside over here, but it's not that bad because this momentum can change at any moment and go towards upside. But right now we are in some kind of momentum downtrend over here, as you can see, and we've been that for a very long time over here. So the momentum has not changed just yet. You can also see on the volume up here, I don't know which chart is better to use, but you'll see that we are going towards upside while the volume is slightly going towards downside. So the volume is kind of losing pace. So there is already a lot of indications that we have been losing momentum. We have been broken trend lines. The RSI has been going down while we have been going towards upside. The MACD has been losing momentum as well, and it might indicate consolidation and option. But how much pullback we're gonna have, that's a big question. So I'm not, worried that we are gonna go back down to something like, 50K or 10K or whatever. But I am a little bit worried that this might be a little bit bigger pullback than maybe 10 moving. The worst case scenario up here, I would say, is going back below, 22.6, 22.5, something like that. Going below everything down here, and then avoiding any kind of bullish divergence, and then just continuing clapping towards downside. Now this move towards downside will be something like 7% down here towards 20 moving average. So you can see down here also the 20 moving average over here. So I wouldn't like just now to lose even that support over here towards downside, and then clap through the downside as well. When it comes to the weekly momentums, you'll see that RSI is not actually that high. RSI is only 60 levels. So you can say that we are some kind. You remember in 2017 up here, 19. This weekly came out all the way up to the 80 levels up here on the weekly time frame before we had this major pullback and then continuation of the rally, right? It came up to something like 80 levels or something like that, right? And let's go to another chart. We can see 2014 levels up here, and these are 2014 levels. And this move up here as well, this parabolic move towards the upside up here, also came to some kind of, you know, 70 levels up here. But where we are right now is down here, 60 levels. 60 levels. So we are right over here right now. We are also having this, you know, 50 moving average on the weekly time frame, stuff like that. And right after that came this big drop towards the downside, right? Even CryptoFace, you know, on his indicator, I think that there was another YouTuber that actually noticed this. He is indicating that this move up here might actually come, right? So right now, when it comes to, you know, 2014 run and stuff like that, are we coming to some kind of first move where we get everybody super bullish that this is going to go towards the upside, then get a spring towards the downside, big spring towards the downside, holding some kind of, some kind of, holding some kind of RSI trend towards the downside, and then having this legit, you know, parabolic move, you know, out all the way up to the 70 levels. That's a big question if, right? Also, the scary part down here is the same kind of, you know, pattern that's forming down on the MACD. We are having this, you know, explosion towards the zero line without actually breaking zero line. So, you know, right now this pullback down here might happen. Are we gonna have, you know, a new dump down to 15K? You know, that's the scary part, because it looks a lot like, you know, 2014. You can see also up here, you know, the 50 moving average, just like in 2014. And I've been talking about how this is always, you know, looks like 2040 levels. So right now everything seems to be like 2040. So are we gonna have this big move down here again to, you know, 15, 16 levels, get some kind of, you know, dump up here, and then you know, do the move to 30K or stuff like that? It could definitely happen. 50 moving average, very, very important level on the weekly time frame. If you look at just 50 moving average over here, you'll see that this has been always the very important levels of support and resistance. Very important levels of support and resistance. You can see up here, we came up here, we managed to, you know, hold it and bounced off of the 50 moving average. This go round up, so we dumped right below it, but we, you know, we managed to get above the 50 moving average. Over here, we broke that towards the downside very nicely. If you go even longer back in time, you'll see that we have, you know, once we broke this towards the upside over here, once we broke the 50 moving average towards the upside up here, you know, it was a bull market up here. I know over here we got some kind of support up here, and you know, you can go all the way back down here. Even down here, we went below, tried to get above it, failed, and then when we got above 50 moving average, we were doing well. So 50 moving average on the weekly time frame, hugely important moving average that, you know, it kind of is a little bit like, you know, bull market versus bear market. If you're above the 50 moving average, you're good. If you're below the moving average, you know, you're not good. So we are still not above this 50 moving average, and it's very, very important. So we are not above 50 moving average. The MACD is still not above the zero line. You know, that's about it. That's about it. We are not Brazil, and we also didn't break this top over here. Right now, 25K. So can we say that you know, we are in a bull market? Definitely, we can say we're in a bull market. I mean, we've been saying that we are in the bull markets. It's down here, and that this is, you know, eventually gonna go up here. But right now, this is a scary moment over here, because this line is coming towards us. We are getting some kind of slight, you know, momentum increase towards the zero line on the MACD. So, you know, are we, you know, the big problem I have is, are we gonna have this move over here? Because it can definitely happen. Too many people are getting too bullish up here. Too many people are getting too bullish up here. So if you do the move towards downside, we might get, you know, another move up here, where we go towards the upside again. And all of these bears that got wrecked over here towards downside over here again might just not start buying here, because they're gonna be saying that, yeah, we're gonna go down to 15K again. But it might actually be the time that we actually break and go towards the upside. So we are not above the 50 moving average. We still need to be careful. We still need to be careful. And right now on the small time frames over here, although we are holding supports, I'm still looking that, you know, we need to get some kind of bounce. We need to get some kind of bounce. So there is that. Any questions, guys? Question and answer. Any question? Mladen is in the chat. How you doing, Mladen? always a rule for me is when I start to feel euphoric to be careful. Yeah, so we are very careful right now, and until something changes, we're gonna stay careful. So there is definitely, you know, both reasons why you should go long, and there is the reasons why you should go short over here. So, you know, it's really hard to say, you know, which direction is the right direction right now. We are kind of in a limbo between the two states, and oftentimes these are the worst time to trade. Up here at the top, you know, too much euphoria might be having some kind of nice shorts over here towards the downside, but right now we are not below the support levels up here. We do hold some kind of you know, support over here. Let me see up here, the 50 moving average. I would say down here there is definitely, you know, a probability to bounce on the 50 moving average up here. It's a very nice support line up here. So, you know, if we come down here, there might be nice bounce, and if this bounce continues, that might be very, very good for us. But it could also just, you know, go down here and then break the support level as well, right? That can always happen. But maybe there is a little bit more increase, you know, maybe a little bit more chance, you know, for long positions in the short term. But you know, it's kind of sketchy. But definitely people are very euphoric, you know, very FOMO-ic, if that's the same. Crypto day trading. The SP looks like it's right about to drop, but we're gonna see how earnings report today that could influence Bitcoin. Earnings report for the bigger companies, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Google, already are out, so we don't have it. You know, FOMC is finished. The earnings are finished, everything is finished, so the big question is how this is going to play out. We already see that the S&P 500 up here is pulling a little bit back, but it's pulling back down to the support lines, right? It's broke out this rising wedge, just pulling back down here a little bit, right? The question is whether this is a rising wedge or if this is, you know, some kind of a bigger rising wedge. The Dow Jones also is in this triangle over here. The Dow Jones also in this triangle, and it's still sitting on support levels, so you know, it's not dumping that much. 0.25, S&P is down 0.88, Nasdaq is down 2%, but Nasdaq is down 2% because of these big tech companies that, you know, delivered very bad news. Amazon, Apple, Google. Meta actually did well. Meta delivered good news, but you know, these three other companies, you can see here it's pulling back inside this channel towards the upside over here. Is it gonna, you know, be able to, you know, hold up here and go back outside of the channel towards the upside? A little bit too early to say. The DXY is managing to slowly climb above the moving averages over here. Let's go to the daily time frame up here. You can see up here it came, you know, this is actually a good move, but it's kind of a weak move because it did not break above the 10 moving average. Right now it's slowly climbing up here towards the upside. Might have been some kind of short-term bottom up here where we do another one of these moves towards the upside and they get rejected again, right? So even DXY might continue a little bit, you know, move towards the upside. But definitely, you know, there are no more news that people are waiting. People have been waiting for FOMC news, that's out. Fed interest rate, that's out. You know, European interest rate, that's out. You know, these big earnings like from these big companies, Meta, Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon. They are out, so I don't know what kind of news can we expect now. What is the stuff that's gonna, you know, that's gonna dump us or pump us? What is the next thing that's that we are waiting for, right? Is it gonna be is it war in Ukraine? Is it something else? You know what are people expecting now? You know, so there is nothing left. There is nothing left right now. So right now, you know, we managed to, you know, climb a little bit up here, and right now pulling back. So. You bought Luna as somebody asked you yesterday. No, I did not buy Luna, but I did see that Luna actually exploded towards the upside, but it's really sketchy. And also, this is also another sign that, you know, we might be coming into some kind of end. I don't know if you remember, but when Doge was pumping up here, I said everybody, oftentimes when Bitcoin is going towards some kind of end, you know, first is Bitcoin pumps, then some big altcoins pump, you know, decent altcoins, then some kind of small, and then, you know, Doge and Shiba starts pumping. And then it's over. But we got you know, right now in this you know, new 2023, we got a new level of low, and that's Luna and you know, FTT token. So I haven't checked FTT token, but when Luna pumps and FTT token, let's see FTT, is FTT still a thing? And FTT pumps, when this thing over here pumps again, then it's pretty much over, guys. Then it's pretty, you know, the pump is pretty much over, because, you know, it goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, big altcoins, small altcoins, Doge, you know, these meme altcoins, and then, you know, Luna, FTT, and all these scam coins at the end, right? And when, you know, when the process is done, you know, it's time to pull back. Could be that. Have you lost any more than 50% crypto in your time? Yeah, of course. If you could only trade once per year based on a weekly chart, how is a buy signal, in my opinion, a 7-day movie? Nah. If you wanna you know, just buy once per year or something like that, you look at the monthly time frame. You look at a monthly time frame up here. You can see BXY. You can even look at a logarithmic chart. You look at some kind of indications down here. First of all, you know, you'll see that the RSIs are hugely oversold. You'll see that this is monthly time frame up here. We go below the MACD down here. This has never happened before. We're actually below the zero line up here, but it might be some kind of fail. But, you know, the MACD comes, you know, very, very strongly down, and it starts turning in a momentum. And my own indicator down here, if you just, you know, about not once a year, but, you know, these very extensions towards downside on monthly time frame, these are very, you know, crucial levels that are indicating some kind of bottoms. So did we have the bottom? Yeah, we had the bottom up here in June when we came down there. Huge overextensions. You can still pull down, but, you know, these are extreme overextensions. So, you know, these are the things that I'm watching for. Also, there is an indicator in a stochastic. Stochastic is also good to look at the monthly time frame, because if you look at stochastic on the monthly time frame, you'll see these very, very nice bottoms up here on stochastic that are good to buy. Right. So you know when it comes to you know, buying and selling in big time frames, that might be something. It was top mover. I tried saying many times yesterday to look at it. It's okay. Where is LV right now? Yeah, I saw LV is up 12% right now. Let's go to 4-hourly time frame. Yeah, it's been just, you know, bouncing big time towards upside up here. It never stopped up here, actually. It just was going on, and right now it's pulling towards upside. But right now it's getting a little bit scary. You're hearing up for Super Bowl pump. When is Super Bowl pump? What kind of pump are we expecting? Are we expecting again, you know, Coinbase, a commercial on Super Bowl pump? That's what I'm using. Like, last Super Bowl commercial for Coinbase was such a legit thing, man. Asian Quant saying the next target is 0. Marks are always steps ahead because they are pricing economic events. Yeah, but what is the next thing that we need to price in? What is the next thing? It was 8.50 in June. Yeah, it was 8.50 in June. You may still be right, but be very cautious. Buying opportunities will come for now trade. Recently broke 200 moving average on daily. Ilvi, what do you think the next target is? I don't know. Maybe a 50 moving average up here, but, you know, the 50 moving average on the weekly time frame is target for everything. But will it just do a, you know, big move up here towards right now towards this one up here, you know, 100% move towards the upside? I don't know, man. It might be that, might not be that. Right now it's getting a little bit what you need to look for right now when it comes to ILV is the break of the momentum and the trend. So you have this momentum up here. Once this momentum is lost, it's pretty much game over, right? And right now we have increased the momentum towards upside. So the first right now the momentum increased. So the first indication that something is wrong is when this momentum starts breaking. This might have a pullback over here and then continue something like this over here, right? Pullback, and this pullback will create a new trend line over here, right? Or if you just, you know, lose the speed and just go towards the downside. So what we are looking for up here right now is the first momentum change is going to come when this line over here is broken. You can see how, you know, nicely trending towards the upside up here is, right? Let's not use logarithmic chart. Nice trending towards upside. So the first, you know, indication that something is wrong is when this momentum loses pace. And right now this momentum hasn't lost pace just yet. Could it go all like you know, phantom up, you know, all the way up here to the top of this line again? Definitely. So, you know, could it have something like, you know, 10% move towards upside? It could that. Could it break this channel towards upside and continue towards upside? Definitely. We don't know. We are looking for when momentum changes. This is the most important thing. Either break towards upside or break towards downside. but something like 10% is probable. But if it breaks this, you know, breaks this towards downside, it's kind of game over, I think. Unless it's a bull market, which is not happening anytime soon. Don't know. So yeah, we are pulling back down to this 50 moving, 20 moving, right now sitting on 20 moving average. I would say even the 50 moving average up here is very legit, you know, support level. So right now short term, like 20 moving average, 50 moving average, you can see the 50 moving average, you know, sits very nicely with this line over here, you know, give or take. So we are getting into that zone where we could have a nice bounce. We're getting into the zone where we could have a nice bounce, get a lot of people FOMO in again here, and then break the, you know, break the support. Because right now people, you know, it's been, you know, 24 hours since we started going towards downside. I know 4, 8, 16, yeah, 24 hours is gonna be over here. 20 hours is gonna be towards downside. So people, you know, had, you know, time to sleep on it. So you can definitely get some kind of, you know, bounce up here, maybe even a higher bounce, maybe even up to 30k bounce. I don't know, but the trend up here hopefully holds. Because if this trend again also breaks towards downside, like what do we have left? Every time you lose support trend lines, you know, what do you have left? If you don't read the news, if you just look at the charts, these are the things that we look for, right? The, you know, support lines breaking towards downside, or the resistance line breaking towards upside, right? These are the things that we look for to figure out whether we are bullish or bearish. And when momentum starts to get weakened, then, you know, when the volume starts going down, and when the trend line starts to breaking towards downside, you know, it's kind of a little bit sketchy. It's kind of a little bit sketchy. Again, my biggest worry, I'm saying it again, and let's split the chart up here so I can actually explain to you. Again, my biggest worry on the charts, I just said, but you know, this is what worries me. Let's go up here. I'll just clean the chart up here. Go to the weekly time frame. Ten. Just remove. We're gonna keep the 50. This is what worries me, right? This up here. Let's just remove. So you can see up here that, and let's go to this chart over here. This is what worries me. We are coming very strong, you know, this 50 moving average coming very strongly over here, and the same thing happened here. And I've been saying over and over again how this is exactly like 2014. It's not actually exactly, but it's very close to 2014 bottom, and it is kind of playing the same way. So this first move up here, so this first move down here could have been this move over here, and right now we have done this move over here, and right now we are looking for this move over here. And then we get this move up here, right? I mean, it could be that, but you know, the way we have been looking at this chart over here so far, I even made a video, this is exactly like 2014 bottom, is that this move over here is this move over here. I could be wrong, and you know, we get the same kind of, you know, pattern that we are doing in 2014. You also see here that the reason this is exactly the same is when we are coming up here towards top up here, we are sitting at 60 level. When we came up here towards top up here, we came, you know, to some kind of 60 level. The support line, the trend line down here still was holding, right? You can see that down here in 2014, someplace up here. The RSI trend line did hold. So this move towards downside pulled us down to the trend line. So if you see this goes towards downside, look for this trend line to hold, right? Look for this trend line to hold. And that's not all, right? That's not all. You can also see on the MACD that we are doing exactly the same thing. You'll see up here in the 2014 that this move towards upside, towards the 50 moving average, were exploding on the MACD, but it did not cross above the zero line, and especially this last move up here increases the speed towards the zero line, but it did not cross it. And the same thing is happening here. We have been going towards the upside, and this last move up here exploded towards the upside, but we are still not crossing above the zero line, right? We are still not crossing above the zero line. Even my indicator down here, these are extensions, right? But you know, we came to some kind of extension up here, just like over here previously, and then pull back below the support down here. This one up here Not actually, this one actually went a lot higher than it, but you know, my indicator doesn't matter. But MACD, RSI, the 50 moving average, the move towards the upside, the form of the bullishness, everything is right now telling me that we could have a gigantic move towards the downside. So guys, you know, I don't want to make you worried, and I do hope that we see some kind of pullback, you know, pump towards the upside. But there is a lot of FOMO, a lot of bullishness. People are buying resistances like we did. So, you know, be careful. I made a video yesterday. Be careful, because I don't know. I would, you know, best case scenario, we break this towards the upside. Everything goes nice. That's like the best case scenario. But, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking that, you know, bears might win the fight again. So there is that. Hey Tila, did you know there was a recent discussion about Celsius and retail clawback? Weird. What? I have absolutely no clue what you said just there. Then again, everyone's expecting to advise, unlike to even reach there. Yeah, exactly, Gort. You're learning, you're learning. When people are talking about, you know, when people are talking one more drop or just one more pump, oftentimes that doesn't happen. We learned that lesson back here in, I'm going to show you where we learned that lesson. Where was it? It was both down here, because we are looking at some kind of 30, 40 levels or something like that, I think. And we didn't do that. We were expecting one more move down, and I think over here as well. And oftentimes when people think, you know, one more move down or one more move towards upside, oh, just, you know, when it came to 70, oh, just one more move up to 80K, you know, when people start, you know, talking about this last move up, oftentimes that doesn't happen, right? So we are following, you know, we are following market psychology, we are following market sentiment, and when people are overly bullish, overly excited, overly euphoric, then we gotta assume that this can actually, you know, turn around and fall back. $42 by April. I still think like April is all the way up here, guys. April is all the way up here. April, May up here, right? So you know, even if you get a pullback down here, whatever up here, you can still go, you know, spring back up again, right? So there is that. There is that, guys. That's all I have right now. We are not below this, you know, crucial support levels just yet, but we are getting very, very close to those crucial levels. And if these levels start breaking, you gotta know that this can turn ugly pretty fast. But it could also be that we get a pullback down here and then explode towards the upside above the 50 moving average. It doesn't have to be like 2014, although it does look like 2014. Guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the Bitcoin Daily. I hope you learned something. I hope I learned something. I'm also learning about, you know, risk management and stuff like that. So if you guys have, you know, good ideas about that, post it down in the comments. If you got good links to you know, some papers to risk management when it comes to trading, I'm interested in, you know, reading about that. That's it, guys. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day. And don't be overly bullish, because that thing is often what wrecks people a lot, right? People are, you know, stupidly bullish. They believe so strongly that we are going to go higher, that price moves back. Even when price moves back, they believe it's going to go up, because, you know, it did it once, it's going to do it again. So up here, people believe very strongly that we are going to bounce again over here or up here. But, you know, after the move down, capitulation phase and stuff like that, it was pretty but oftentimes at these very tops, when people are looking at, you know, these levels above us, and there is a strong FOMO and bullishness in the market, you got to understand that, you know, be careful. Be careful. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying it's going to drop down. I'm not going to say a pump. Just be careful. Do not be emotionally attached to the news and stuff like that. Thanks, Tila. You too, guys. You too, guys. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.